free just to sort of like, you know, say what they want, otherwise there's no point doing this exercise, right? Because they just express yourselves in any way you want, right? And so everyone's equal in this space. Okay?
Because I think the main problems with the regeneration of the city is it's made on a certain model which believes that it's only the private sector that can save the city, and only like tourism and, you know, obviously the economy and bringing jobs are important, but the reality is most of what has been achieved here has not been done by the private sector. It's been done with Objective 1 and loads of public money inputted by central government, which is then giving this money to private developers to build all of this. And I mean, Liverpool Vision doesn't give money out, but Liverpool Vision is not democratic at all. Non-elected people are really in Liverpool Vision, apart certain people from the council, and they've been taking most of the decision in terms of regeneration of the city, which, you know, for me is a problem. The Northwest Development Agency, which is giving out this huge amount of money, is not democratic at all. All the decisions are taken into small meetings with public servants, you know, and I think this is the wrong way to do it. We need to give more power to elected people, but obviously, as you said, you know, change them as well, because they're not very good at the moment. But
we were making decisions based on money and how much they're going to earn and how much things are going to cost. And I think that the power is within the people, but we just need to change it from the top, like I said before.
You know, is that the prospect for the people of Liverpool? And I totally agree. I'm an outsider. I've been here for 7 years, but I totally agree with the fact that it's always people called from other cities. I mean, the main leaders are not from Liverpool, and they bring this magic recipe that's supposed to work for the people from Liverpool. I think this is wrong. Maybe it will take longer if you give a voice to people and empower them. Even, I'm not sure about this word, but I think this is the way forward, more democracy.
7% of the apartments are vacant in the city centre, and that's an astonishing statistic. Really. In an economy that is really, really faltering, looking very, very fragile, it makes you wonder whether a boom could be built on optimism alone. And I'm not particularly optimistic, unfortunately, for what the shape of Liverpool might be in 2 or 3 years' time, because you can just see maybe it's it's the moment that we're living in terms of the crisis as it's playing out day to day at the moment, and that's creating a lot of uncertainty. Maybe it won't transpire in the way that some people fear it will, but if it did, then Liverpool could look a very, very different place. Now, if there's any positive side to that, is that sometimes in a recession there are great opportunities, and one opportunity is to reclaim some public space from the private sector, and there could be actually an interesting change in terms of power positioning that would accompany a deep recession if those opportunities are taken, and if the democratic sectors allow for them, and if the process of development is as undemocratic as you're saying, then you've got to ask questions about whether that process would be able to happen.
Here the council have thought up this god-awful scheme that they're going to be doing, and they're like, oh yeah, we consulted the people of Liverpool, and I was like, well, you've never consulted me. Who did you ask? Did you ask each other? And they all was like, yeah, it's a really good idea. What do you think? I think it's a really good idea as well. And also the people that do the consultations, whoever they're asking, are the ones that want it done. So they're going to put it across to people in a really good light and not mention any of the cons. Maybe if the consultations were done by a more impartial person, say me, I think that would be a good idea.
The feeling I'm getting is that people don't feel that maybe the way it's gone, people are being sort of like consulted adequately, or not, maybe not even consulted.
Of the warehouses, I think along Duke Street, I mean, it was really lots of eyesores, it was all derelict. Yeah. And now, you know, it's been renovated rather than demolished, and I think it's extending as well in the Jamaica Street area, and, you know, by the Keynes Brewery, and all this area has been quite nice and dynamic, so I think this is a positive.
Well, I think we've moved into this huge consumerist marketplace society, you know, and I think, do people look at them? I mean, even for me, being on the Radio City Tower, or whatever it's called, and seeing all the buildings, I really saw a different side to it. I was actually quite blown away by the first views I saw, because because of course we don't see the aerial shots. You might see footage on television, but to see it yourself. But I'm just really concerned now that that will be the new focus, and that sort of, is anybody bothered about the architecture, because that's just like a retail sector, isn't it? That's my concern.
Okay. All right.
Well, it's brought some decent shops to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Not very good, like, because, you know, we only get the Armani Exchange instead of the real Armani shop and stuff like that, but it's a few decent designer stores knocking about these days.
Strass Park is absolutely remarkable. It was beautiful. It was a lovely day, plenty of people around, all the restaurants were busy, and it really was something.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay.
Brought new life to the city.
Is it still called Strass Park, though?
Oh, it is called Strass Park.
Just bought them.
Yeah, just brought new life to the city. Hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, there's thousands of people milling around and buying things and looking at things and wishing they could afford them.
And what was there before?
Oh,
Well, the park was there.
The park was there, yeah.
Space.
It's just an
But
empty
you know,
space.
you can't visualise, Peter, what it was like before when you see it all new. You think, well, what was here and what was there?
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely remarkable. Wonderful. And the
A
space
couple
to-
of the buildings that you know, but most of them are great.
Yeah.
What do you mean by? What do you mean by that?
They're not very pleasant to look at.
Yeah.
What are you talking about now?
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about? We're talking about Liverpool.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm talking about.
He's talking about Old Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the road.
I just think it's given Liverpool what other cities have had, like I keep mentioning Manchester. My dad I was born and bred here, mum and dad are from here, and my dad is a huge ambassador for Liverpool, and he's always said for years and years, we've suffered and the money's all gone to Manchester. And I think this, and it's all coincided with capital of culture, and I think Liverpool at last has got a platform, it's got a voice, and I really do think that the city can be phenomenal. And I just think, because the press coverage that Liverpool has got in the past has been horrendous, you know, and this gives Liverpool a platform to move forward. And I think, you know, particularly, I've got young children, particularly my children, you know, to give them a future. And I just think in such a fabulous city, and we've got such a fabulous history, that I think hopefully we can move forward and be competitive with cities like Leeds and Manchester. So